Hello and welcome back. It's day 25 of 30 GIMP tutorials. Today I'm sharing a cool modern editing style with a twist. Literally. Let's dive in and get her done. So we're going to start off by making a selection of the background so we can remove it and separate it from the subject. That way we can style our background to anything we like. So let's grab our fuzzy select tool with the letter U. And the key to using this selection tool is adjusting the threshold to increase or decrease the amount of the selection. So this is how it works. You're going to click on your image, and the area that you click on, it's going to sample the color of that pixel, and it's going to try and find additional colors similar to it, and it will make a selection based on that color range, and it will increase or decrease the size of the color range based on the threshold. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to set this down to around 3, and I'm going to click on the background. It's sampling the color of that pixel that I clicked on and looking for similar colors in a very small color range. Now, even though the background looks like it's the same color, it does have different colors in it based on the different tonal ranges. And because the threshold level is so low, it's not able to select all the colors in the background. I'm going to undo that with select none, and then I'm going to increase the threshold to around 127, and this time it's going to increase the color range and select more pixels in the image based on that color range. But as you can see, it's selecting a lot of our subject now. So I'm going to undo that with Command or Control plus the letter Z. And I'm going to drop the threshold down to around 25, and we're going to try it again. So it did a much better job, but if we grab our zoom tool with the letter Z, click and drag around the face, we can see part of the face is selected because the colors of his face are similar to the background, and the color range was set at a higher level, which included those colors. Now you're going to drive yourself mad if you keep going back to the threshold to try and find a perfect point for selecting exactly what you need. What I would recommend doing instead is trying to find something close and then using something else to deselect that part of the selection. So I'm going to grab my free select tool here. You can also grab it with the letter F. And then I'm going to make sure in my tool options here I have the correct mode selected. So this mode here is the one selected by default. And to remove from your selection, you want this one here. It says subtract from the current selection. Or instead of turning this on, you could use the keyboard shortcut. So I'm going to go ahead and click it instead of using the keyboard shortcut. And then I'm going to draw around his face so I can deselect this part. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Once I see that yellow circle, I can release my mouse and it's deselected. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom now because we need to add this part of the background as part of the selection. Right now, it's not part of it. So what we're going to do is go back to the fuzzy select tool again with the letter U. In the tool options, we need to make sure we have the correct mode selected, which is this one here, add to the current selection. And you can use the keyboard shortcut instead if you want to keep it on here, which is the shift key. I'm going to click once inside and it automatically makes a perfect selection. I'm going to zoom all the way out with Command or Control, Shift plus J. Now to remove the background, we are going to add a layer mask, but first we need to go up to Select and click on Invert because it's going to add a black and white layer mask, and we want to make sure we're removing the background and not the subject. So I'm going to click right here, click on Selection to activate that one, and click Add, and now we can see the black outline around the outside of the subject, and our subject itself is now white. So white adds, black removes. So let's deselect our selection again, and now let's go up to Image and click on Canvas Size because I want to make the canvas size wider. I'm going to type in 2700, and I want to make sure my subject is in the middle, so I'm going to click on our center button here and then click Resize. Let's go ahead and create a new layer here for our background. I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with the foreground color, but I need to change the color. So I'm going to come over here, click, and I'm going to select this light blue color here. If you want to use the same color, type in this hexadecimal number right here. Okay there, and then okay. And then we're going to move our background layer below this layer by clicking and dragging down. So the next step is to begin creating the duotone effect. So I'm going to grab my top layer here. I'm going to create a new layer called red. We're going to fill it with the foreground color again, but this time I want to select a bright red color. So I'm going to use this one here. Click OK, OK again, and I need to change the blending mode from normal to multiply. Let's create a new layer again. This time let's call it blue. And I'm going to choose this dark blue color here. Now to create our duotone effect, all we have to do is adjust the opacity of this blue layer down to around 50. And there you go. How cool is that? But we're not done yet. Don't leave yet, because we need to create a new magical background. So I'm going to grab my background here and I'm going to create a new layer called gradient, and let's fill it with black this time. Go ahead and click OK. Now I want to remove it with a black layer mask. So I'm going to select black and click add. We're going to use our gradient tool right here, which you can grab from the toolbar or use the keyboard shortcut, which is the letter G. So the key for applying this new background pattern is to paint with white. So again, white adds, black removes. And then in the tool options, we want to make sure we have the correct gradient selected. So click right here and select foreground to transparent. And then you can come into your shape here and choose any one of these options here based on your creative vision. And the one that I want to use is this one here, spiral counterclockwise. I'm going to come over here right about in the middle. I'm going to click and drag out the spiral that I want for my effect. So something like that. I'm going to go ahead and click enter or return. And the last thing I want to do is drop the opacity down just to tone it down a little bit. How cool is that? I love it. All right, now that you know how to create a duotone effect in GIMP, check out that playlist to your left to learn more about editing, retouching, and styling your images in GIMP. Thanks for listening and have an awesome day.